But now is the time for the leaders' dialogue. And I've just returned from the sideline of the United Nations General Assembly, the 70th one. And leaders there, hundreds of countries around the world agreed that the world needs a new vision for sustainability. Hence, the first ever time that the leaders of the world has come together to ratify the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG, to come in place after MDG, Millennium Development Goals. And it's just nice with Malaysia. That's why Malaysia also have a GSIAC, Global Science International Advisory and Innovation Council, for us to look at. Now is no longer the time to talk. Now is the time to implement sustainability everywhere, with no one left behind. So I'm very glad that Perak, for me, has taken this first step, so fresh, not even 2 weeks after what has been discussed in New York, that you have this discussion now. So maybe that's why the room is so cold, and you have the Davos-like temperature, but believe me, I've been to Davos even last January. I think this meeting is more sustainable, and this meeting is a better version of sustainability discussion. So with that, I think you can give a warmer applause as I call one by one the key panelists for the Leaders' Dialogue. My first one will be, please join me on stage, to Hajah Eliza Saaduddin Jamal, Mayor of Banda Aceh, Indonesia. Hajah Eliza Saaduddin Jamal is the 11th and current Mayor of Banda Aceh City. She is the first lady mayor that has led the city and actively promotes Banda Aceh as a gender-friendly city. And remember, since 2001, Banda Aceh has the Sharia-compliant code. And I will ask her about that later. And having been to Banda Aceh on the third day post-tsunami, Banda Aceh has really sustainably come a long, long way. And Hajah Eliza has also participated in the Sendai Report. The Sendai Report is a UN transformative agenda for disaster risk management, which I shall also include in our discussion. But before that, let's have my second panelist on stage. And this is the true north for me, as a northerner myself. Unfortunately, I'm not a Perakian, but I'm a proud Perlesian, the smaller northern state. So my true north would be from the southern district of Thailand. So please welcome Mr. Suphanat Siranthanineti, the Deputy Secretary General of the Southern Border Province Administrative Center of Thailand. And he has his degree from the Ramkhamhaeng University from the Faculty of Political Science. And he also has a master's degree from the Faculty of Management Science of Public Administration of Prince of Songkla University in Hat Yai, my favorite go-to place. Please don't get me wrong. Since the age of 5, I used to cross into Thailand because there was no immigration, and from Perlis we just walked through. So I go to Thailand for food. Yeah, sure. I saw the smile down there. My mom and father brought me there. I never go alone. And for gender diversity's sake, I'm so glad that I'll be flanked by 2 male and 2 females, leaders of the third government, as we call it. So please give another big round of applause for our friend from the Philippines, the Honorable Nerivi Santos Martinez, the Mayor of Talavera from the province of Nueva Ecija, Philippines. She has been the municipal administrator of the local government of Talavera for 5 years prior to being elected mayor. And there's a lot of challenges even now. I would like really to commend Honorable Nerivi Santos Martinez for still making time to be here so far away from Talavera when they are now being faced with the aftermath and still being hit by the typhoon. Thank you so much for making time to be here. I saw the pictures over Twitter of trees being uprooted in Talavera itself. So we'll go to that discussion. So I guess she deserves another round of applause just for that. And last but not least, of course, your very own Perak leader at the local government, the third tier of government. The first tier is federal, second tier is state, the third tier is what we call the local government. The mayor of Taiping, Dato' Haji Abdul Rahman Ma'arif, appointed as the mayor of Taiping municipality since 2014, last year. Prior to his appointment, he has served as the city secretary of Ipoh City Council, and he holds a Bachelor of Law from the University of Malaya and Masters of Law from Southampton, England. If you can give me a few moments, you know, sustainability is easier said than practiced. So I'll take a few more seconds to reach my seat there, because I wanted to challenge YBKJ. Do you know YBKJ? Yes? No? Just because he's from Rembau doesn't mean you cannot say it louder. No, I wanted to really support the Fit Malaysia initiative and Hari Sukan Negara. So last year, I ran 5 kilometers in 6 minutes and 50. This year, I wanted to bring it down to 5 minutes and 50. But, you know, not really acknowledging my young age. So I tore my ligament, and YBKJ beat me in the run, of course. But I still ran anyway, so I aggravated my condition a bit. But as I'm making my way there, I promise you that this session is going to be different. In the Q&A, if you don't ask, I'm going to come down to you, because I love Perak so much. So please think about that. I would like to state that all the leaders of the world, where it matters, especially in the UN, has said that without the third government, without the local participation, there is no such thing as the success of the implementation of Sustainable Development Goal. This was equated by Judith Carl. She's the executive secretary for a very important UN body, which is the UNCDF, Capital Development Fund. They look at the 48 most behind countries in terms of sustainability, and they help them directly, especially through local financing and stuff. So with that in mind, I must remind you that we have 2 interpreters for the sake of making sure, because communication is important. Because sometimes if you speak in the Perak dialect, they cannot understand, right? So I want to say ladies first, and I'm so glad I can say this, because even in New York, sometimes gender empowerment is not really being advocated. So the first opportunity will go to the esteemed Hajah Eliza Sa'aduddin Jamal.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Hamdan wa syukran lillah. Salatan wa salaman ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawalah. Fellow statesperson, fellow practitioners, professor, and all participants, I am honored to have the opportunity to brief you on our long experiences in building Banda Aceh City for the last 10 years. We learned that the challenges have shifted from building city as center growth into livable city where all people can live peaceful. Building inclusive city in the perspective of sustainable development must perceive from 3 perspectives: gender, environment, and learning community standpoint. There are pressing issues around gender, which in many cases always hinders development. Women face difficulties to continue living in human state when they do not have access to shelter, education, political and administration process, public service and space. They are also prone to disaster. The situation gets worse in the time of disaster. We had those issues when we were devastated by the tsunami 10 years ago. And we were dealing with increasing hostilities during the conflict. We had families headed by vulnerable women. They lost access to safe shelters, water supplies, livelihood, not to mention what they have already lost. We worked very hard to ensure their temporary home were safe for women, and workers even harder to ensure they have permanent homes with access to water and other services. Ladies and gentlemen, environmental issues remain the major source of exclusivity. We spend hours and millions of money to tackle issues such as increasing urban sprawl, decreasing environmental health, damaging climate change, expensive negative externalities, and some issues around urban public service such as safe water distribution and water management. The micro level, we understand that the community, the subject of development, as the subject, community need to learn continuously to build sustainable knowledge, skill, and attitude sustainable for development. Issues like limited skill-based learning process, lacking learning on disaster risk reduction, leadership and mobilization, and change management require systematic action. Most importantly, learning community learn how to mainstream and then to adopt the core Islamic values as local wisdom and development. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share some structural effort that we have undertaken to manage our development. We envisioned to future and crystallize the vision into actions. We have perceived that gender inequality was the major source of disparities and underdevelopment. I need to emphasize that exclusivity comes from gender-insensitive development process. To respond, we mainstream gender on our planning, and race, and top of that, we provide affirmative action for women to deliberate and to consult in the development planning. Women initiatives at the grassroots were institutionalized, and mechanisms to handle gender-based violence were put in place. In the last 5 years, the statistics reflect tremendous impact. We reduced poverty across different women groups quite impressively. Giving birth is getting safer in our city. The maternal mortality rate goes down rapidly. Secondary and even higher education enrollment exceed our expectation. To sustain development, we plan our space utilization for 20 years. We work hard in implementing green city concept, anticipating flood. The city established flood control and management, and simultaneously improve the air quality by establishing green transport. Substantial utilities like solid waste and management, water supply were provided. We need longer time to observe the impact. However, some early indicators provide positive feedback. We have increased the size of our open green space. The monetary values of loss from the flood decreases as the severity of flood decreased significantly. Next, learning community is facilitated and upgraded through the concept of smart city. Leading technologies mixed with local wisdom are adapted to help establishing smart education and community, smart government and services, smart disaster environment, smart tourism. Aside what we have achieved and performance, we acknowledge that the challenges will evolve. Those challenges are transformed into feasible plan of action. Gender equality must be strengthened systematically. The affirmative action like women planning consultation or Musrena must be adopted into formal development planning, and the established women institution must be stabilized. We must improve community participation in establishing green city and safer coastal area, allocate more resource, and cultivate mindset for provision of green space and improving basic urban environmental service. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to conclude this briefing to convince you that understanding and acknowledging current issue is building inclusive city towards sustainable development are the first step to establish Banda Aceh as role model for inclusive and resilient city. Universal Islamic values provide basics for developing the core subject of development. The community develop and adopt Islamic values of discipline, tolerance, and responsible toward establishing generation who work hard to establish environment for future generation. Engaging in learning process, especially at community level, will serve as the basis for stronger and adaptive community. It is key success factor for inclusive and resilient city. Thank you for your kind attention, and I look forward to discussing inclusive with you all. Thank you very much. Wa'afaminkum astaghfirullahilakum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you so much, Hajah Izzah. We'll go back to you during the chit chat and the Q&A. Sawadika, Mr. Supanan. What interests me from Aceh is the devastation from the tsunami, the earthquake, and before that, there was a long period of unrest. There's also a period of unrest in the southern province, so maybe you can share that and more with us on sustainability and inclusiveness of how do you get what is supposed to be looked upon as a marginalized community into the mainstream of inclusivity of development. Over to you.
ท่านผู้มีเกียรติจากฟิลิปปินส์จากอาเจจากสิงคโปร์จากมาเลเซียและประเทศไทยที่รบครับผมสุพนัทศรีรันทวิเนติรองเลขาธิการสวตครับวันนี้รับมอบหมายจากท่านเลขาธิการให้มาพบปะพี่น้องที่นี่ด้วยความยินดียิ่งครับอยากกราบเรียนว่าภาคใต้ของประเทศไทยนั้นโดยเฉพาะยิ่งก็คือ3ภาคใต้คือยะลาปัตตานีนราธิวาสนั้นมีปัญหาความแตกแยกยาวนานเนื่องจากว่าคนที่คิดต่างกันแล้วก็มีคนกลุ่มหนึ่งไปตั้งกองกำลังขึ้นมาเพื่อที่จะมาฆ่ากันฆ่าคนต่างศาสนิกฆ่าพวกข้าราชการพวกเดียวกันไม่เป็นมุสลิมก็ยังฆ่าเรียกว่าเป็นมูนาฟิกฆ่าไทยพุทธก็เรียกว่าข่าวเวสสียำปัญหาที่เกิดขึ้นมาตั้งแต่10 กว่าปีผ่านมานั้นรัฐบาลกลางได้แก้ไขปัญหาโดยการจัดตั้งศูนย์ในการบริหารจัดการภาคใต้ขึ้นมาเป็นกระทรวงหนึ่งเพื่อแก้ปัญหาเหล่านี้ร่วมกับฝ่ายทหารและตำรวจเขาเรียกว่า3ฝ่ายคือพลเรือนคือสวตทหารและตำรวจช่วยแก้ปัญหาจากเหตุการณ์ที่รุนแรงมากเกิดการฆ่ารายวันเกิดการระเบิดเกิดการยิงเกิดขึ้นคนตายไป 4,000 กว่าศพบาดเจ็บ10,000 กว่าคนบุยใหญ่แม่ไหม้เยอะมากเด็กกับพระก็เยอะมากจากวันนั้นถึงวันนี้ผมอยากเรียนว่าสถานการณ์ทุกอย่างเปลี่ยนแปลงดีขึ้นมากครับเพราะเรารับความมือจากภายนอกก็คือมาเลเซียเป็นคนกลางให้เรา ในการพบปะพูดคุยกับคนต่าง
Mr. Supanak, sorry to interject, but if we can get the translator to come bits and pieces, otherwise, I know I live close to Thailand where I was born, but because I only go there for food, I hardly pick up the language, please.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, this is just for introduction from Deputy Secretary General. From what we have said, our office has been established by the government of Thailand, which is including 3 offices: first from military, second police, and third civilian. And from the previous, we also have a conflict resolution, and now the situation has been improved now.
ผมอยากกล่าวเรียนครับว่าหลังจากที่ทางประเทศมาเลเซียเป็นคนกลางในการพูดคุยกับคนคิดต่างนะครับทำให้สถานการณ์ทุกอย่างดีขึ้นมาก หลังจากนั้นทางรัฐบาลโดยสบต.เริ่มโครงการทำความเข้าใจเริ่มโครงการพัฒนาทั้งการศึกษาทั้งด้านสุขภาพอนามัยทุกๆด้านทั้งศาสนาทุกอย่างเพื่อยกฐานะให้พี่น้องทั้งไทยพุทธและมุสลิมให้อยู่ดีขึ้น
After a long dispute between government and also some group of people in Pattani, we also take a cooperation from Malaysia to be a facilitator. And after that, we also done a lot of projects to develop the southern border provinces. For example, the project which is to develop the quality of life of people, not only for Muslim and also for Thai Buddhists.
จากปัญหาความยากจนจากปัญหาความไม่เป็นธรรมจากปัญหาที่คนละต่างศาสนาต่างภาษาพูดอันนี้ทุกอย่างนั้นได้รับการแก้ไขโดยรัฐบาลที่ใช้สบต.รวมทั้งหน่วยงานในพื้นที่คือทหารตำรวจมาช่วยกันแก้ปัญหาขณะนี้
The problem about injustice now, our office, the Southern Border Provinces Administrative Center, has been tackled working with the police, military, and also civilians.
จากปัญหาเกิดขึ้นความไม่เป็นธรรมสวต.ก็ให้ความเป็นธรรมพี่น้องที่ถูกเชิญตัวแม้แต่คนที่เป็นผู้ต้องขังเมื่อศาลปล่อยตัวมาแล้วให้ความธรรมแล้วเนี่ยสวต.ต้องดูแลความอยู่ของเขาโดยการให้เงินทุนเขาในการประกอบอาชีพให้อยู่ให้ได้
And after we put all the project to develop the quality of life of people, we also bring the people which has been charged by the security. We also bring them out of the prison to work and to stay with the people in the village.
อยากเรียนนะครับว่าเป็นประเทศเดียวในโลกก็ว่าได้ที่ส่งเสริมให้ทุนกับพี่น้องมุสลิมไปประกอบพิธีฮัจญ์ที่นครเมกะปีละ200 คนโดยให้ทุนดูแลอย่างดีอย่างยิ่งที่เหลือก็ไปอุมเราะห์ปีละ100 คนนี่คือจุดเด่นของการแก้ปัญหาเบื้องต้นทางศาสนา
We can say that we are the first country in the world that we provide the budget for the Muslim to perform their pilgrimage in Makkah.
ให้ทุนการศึกษาพี่น้องนักศึกษามุสลิมเรียนต่อที่อินโดนีเซียที่มาเลเซียในอียิปต์รวมทั้งในประเทศไทยด้วย
We also provide the scholarship for the student to study overseas, for example, in Indonesia, in Malaysia.
ดูแลผู้ป่วยที่นอนที่บ้านเรียกโรงพยาบาล100 หลังก็หมายว่าผู้ป่วยที่ลำบากมุสลิมที่ป่วยเราดูแลจัดแจงให้ตั้งแต่เรื่องที่ค่าที่อยู่อาศัยทุกอย่างดูแลอย่างดีเพื่อลดเงื่อนไขเหล่านี้
We also taking care of the patient which is from the from the unrest. About 100 hospital people live.
ผมอยากเห็นว่า1 ปีผ่านมาทุกอย่างดีขึ้นอยากเชิญชวนพี่น้องที่เคารพครับได้ดูวิดีทัศน์จากภาพที่เราบันทึกไว้เชิญครับ
For the past year, the situation has been improved. And for ladies and gentlemen, we would like to present our video presentation for you to, for your information and clarification about what we have done before.
ครับขอบคุณมากครับ
Thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะ And without further ado, and I think this is a subtle subliminal message by the organizers, which is IDR and CIA, that maybe it's time for Malaysia to have very good-looking, very intelligent, and very powerful female mayors. So with that, we must learn from the Honorable Naravi Santos Martinez, the mayor of Talavera. Please, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much. So, esteemed members of the floor, participants from different countries, my fellow speakers, good morning. So before I start, I want to express my gratitude to PANCOR International Development Dialogue for bringing me here, that while my heart is saddened by the catastrophe that hit my town, I am deeply honored and humbled that I am here to share with you how we do it in our town to try to make our people's lives better. So I am from Talavera, and in your screen, you will see the Philippine map. Our town, Talavera, is located in the province of Nueva Ecija in the island of Luzon. It is classified as a first-class municipality with an income classification of 55 million pesos or more. 55 million pesos meaning it is more or less 6 million ringgit. It is 3 hours drive away from the capital of the Philippines, Manila. Our land area is 14,255 hectares, and it is the second largest municipality in the province of Nueva Ecija. We have 53 barangays or kampungs, and it is considered as it is the smallest unit of government in the country. There are 8 urban barangays and 45 rural barangays. Population stands at around 119,000, with a total number of 25,643 households. Financially, our total income for 2014 is 295 million pesos, or more or less $6.4 million. So that is how much we spend every year for everything. Our collective efforts generated an upswing in our local revenue collection with a year-end increase of 14.33%. 49.4% came from business tax collection, and efficiency is at 88.76%. Our roadmap for development is focused on Leap High. L for livelihood, E for education and environment, A for agriculture, P for public safety, H for health, I for infrastructure, G for good governance, and H for housing. Livelihood. The micro, small, and medium enterprises are the new foundation of the emerging economic development, an inclusive growth undertaking to spur economic growth. In the Philippines, MSMEs comprise 90% of the economy. To empower the people of Talavera, we have embarked on a massive livelihood skills training program to give our constituents, particularly the women, knowledge and technical know-how to start their own small businesses, to earn on their own and eventually become small entrepreneurs that will incrementally sustain the local economy. These will also provide employment in the community. A good example is our K3 project, or Kaunlaran sa Kabuhayan ng Kababaihan. Loosely translated, it means livelihood development for women, where as a group, they are provided soft loans for livelihood projects. Education. It is the lifeblood of our future. In investing in our youth, we are hopefully making their lives better as a ticket away from poverty. we have the Kolehiyo ng Bayan or local community college to cater to the youth of Talavera, where we offer free tertiary or college schooling. This provides them with an opportunity to better improve their future and eventually their lives. We likewise offer educational assistance to junior and senior high school as we constantly provide various needs of the elementary schools. Environment. Environment protection and climate change adaptation and mitigation are buzzwords for a healthy life. In Talavera, we do our share to contribute to a healthier and cleaner environment. We take care of our air, water, and manage our solid waste. Climate change endeavors are part and parcel of our government programs. We have our Zero Kalat or Zero Waste program, the Clean and Green program, and the establishment of Materials Recovery Facility as a strong manifestation to support the National Solid Waste Program. What we are doing now is for the proper care of the environment, is for the future of our children. Our main livelihood is agriculture. 84% of our land is devoted to farming. Talavera is considered as the rice granary and vegetable basket of the province of Nueva Ecija. As the ASEAN economic integration is upon us, we are basically aiming for high productivity and lower production costs to be able to compete in the international market. We hope to become an agro-industrial city in the very near future as part of our economic development program and basically to provide our farmers the opportunity to earn more and have a better life. We take our mandate to heart when it comes to the security and protection of our constituents. Peace and order ranks high in our agenda, especially as we strive hard to attract investors to the municipality. Our recent undertaking is the provision of closed-circuit television along the main thoroughfares in Talavera to offset possible offenses against persons and property. Believing in the adage, health is wealth, has given our municipality its direction towards adhering to universal health care. We provide health services from womb to tomb, starting from prenatal to deliveries, child and maternal care, proper nutrition, prevention of diseases, taking care of the elderly and persons with disability up to the time of their passing. Cleanliness and dengue prevention are consistent parts of our programs. We put a premium on the state of health of our people in order for them to be able to be productive citizens of the country. Our Gulayan sa Barangay, sa Paaralan, at sa Bakuran program is a manifestation of not only providing nutritious food on the table, but as an added source of income from selling the excess production of vegetables in the community. The nucleus of development is hinged on infrastructure investment. Due in part to rapid urbanization and being recognized as business-friendly, Talavera has been dubbed as an investment magnet because of the inflow of big businesses in the municipality with the influx of Save More, Robinson Supermarket, Pure Gold, Walter Mart, McDonald's, and Jollibee. A 5.4-kilometer diversion road is soon to be constructed to ease the traffic on the main highway of Talavera. It is seen as a potential growth point center and the site of the agro-industrial zone. Better paved roads and farm-to-market roads, drainage systems, school buildings, even advances in telecommunications are part of our continuing efforts to make the municipality grow economically and socially. Good governance is the essence of my administration. The awards we continually receive are proofs that we are doing things correctly. Advances in local governance include accountability, transparency, people participation is translated into a government that performs with morality, compassion, and integrity. Aside from efficient and effective delivery of basic services, we are responsive to the needs of the constituents. We are lucky in our town because we have limited informal settlers. We have set a part of our budget and efforts to provide housing for those who are homeless. Our second project on housing provided houses for 94 families in Barangay San Pascual. And aside from the physical structures, the plan includes the provision of livelihood activities for the dwellers to become productive and a communal area to plant their own vegetables for their own consumption. goals. This is the administration's roadmap towards a sustainable development that is aimed to eradicate poverty, improve the economy and the lives of the people, and a certain food security. It is an enormous task, but with new technologies coupled with the dynamism of our stakeholders and the ASEAN economic cooperation, we need to make and adapt to changes, even if taken in small steps, as these could be changes are needed by communities like us to grow and prosper. Add the people's engagement and you have a government of the people, by the people. These are ripples of hope that together we may find ourselves, like most of you who have attained much growth, at the frontiers of development. Hinging our local economic development to entrepreneurship in agriculture and MSMEs with a bigger market in mind provides us the opportunity for inclusive growth, thereby committing the benefits to the welfare and well-being of the people of Talavera. It is also in this context that we are looking forward to becoming a city in the very near future, hopefully under my watch. There are numerous challenges that I can enumerate, but the basics are the sustainability of the programs and projects that we have put in place and the need to improve on these developments. Changes factor in as well because not all welcome the idea of modifying cultures and traditional practices that have been known and accepted. There is a need to adapt to new technologies and innovations to adjust to the changing times. As a leader of the municipality in a developing country, but with very rich natural resources, this roadmap is our guide to success, and I would like to emphasize that development is a shared responsibility. I want to believe that I have inspired the people of Talavera as my partners in the development of our municipality, without which the advances we are enjoying now will be for naught. As leaders, we are instrumental in providing the framework of development, but the details need to be done in collaboration with all the stakeholders to ensure success. We become agents of change for reforms to be successfully implemented. And these must contribute not only to local development, but to national development as well. That's why we make a difference in our own little way. To all of you, thank you. Terima kasih and salamat petang. Good morning again to everybody.
Dato', I must confess, I'm a journalist. I'm supposed to be neutral, but I'm biased towards the female presenters. I've given them more time. So because you are good hosts of all of us, on Perak, so I'm going to ask you to, minimize a bit your presentation so that we have maybe one or two questions, because Dato' can still stay here with us all the way until tomorrow. I will be staying. Thank you so much for the presentation, Dato'. Now it's over to you.
I don't have much time. Thank you, Kamarul. First, I would like to thank the organizers of the Perak International Development Dialogue for inviting me to speak in front of this esteemed audience. I'm especially delighted to be able to share this stage with my distinguished fellow panelists and look forward to ensuring exchange of ideas and reflection from our respective leadership experiences in municipal government. I speak today about typing experience in implementing sustainability for inclusive growth. A little bit of history. I speak about typing experience, a journey that began 141 years ago in 1874 with the signing of the Pangkor Treaty. This was a deal that marked the end of the Larut Wars that crippled the town, ushering in a period of everlasting peace that's now typing. With peace and prosperity, with peace come prosperity, and typing was made the Perak state capital under the British administration before it was moved to Ipoh in 1937. Throughout this period, typing benefited from critical infrastructure development. Railways were built and telegraph lines laid out, connecting us to the rest of the peninsula, facilitating commerce and trade activities that drove economic growth. There were strong foundation that we have built on since. Today, typing remains a dynamic and vibrant town. Our services and manufacturing sectors are booming. We also boost quality infrastructure. Indeed, typing is easily accessible by road and railway services from Kuala Lumpur and Penang. Our most important resource, however, is our population of 250,000 people from various ethnic backgrounds who continue to work hard and strive for bigger and better things. So how did we go on achieving this? I believe that a big part of typing success has been down to the Perak Abang Jaya plan put forth by the state administration, a brainchild of our chief minister, Perak Aman Jaya has played a critical role in setting the direction of Taiping Local Development Plan, putting these three goals as the first principle. There's first, quality income, second, quality opportunities, and three, quality living. With this, the municipal government looked to implement local development plans that were in line with this principle. Firstly, we implemented the Larut Matang Local Plan, a plan that placed an emphasis on sustainable development. This was followed by the Special Area Plan, which focused on the branding Taiping as a heritage town. 6 strategies were drafted and 7 projects were subsequently identified as part of the plans with focus placed on restoration of our heritage sites. The 7 projects are as on the screen. See at the time. As it is, we have hit the ground running. The Heritage Trail project that began in 2010 is expected to be completed by early next year. This trail will span 11.5 kilometers and include more than 30 heritage sites in Taiping. On top of this, we also began working on upgrading Taiping Heritage Square in 2014 and expect work to be completed come year's end. We expect the square to be a new focal point for Taiping, helping us cement our image as a heritage city. The impact on tourism and investment, thus far, all this plan has translated into real gains for the local community. In terms of tourism, we have managed to generate a new burst of excitement. The proof is in the pudding. Last year, over 2 million tourists visited Taiping. To meet this growing demand, we actually had to complete the construction of few new hotels. One of the big reasons for this success has been the Taiping Zoo and Night Safari that has attracted 700,000 visitors. The future looks bright, having received 10 million ringgit grant from the federal government through the NCIA to upgrade the zoo. 12 animal exhibits and restaurants are being renovated as I speak, and works are being expected to be completed by year's end. Once it's completed, we are confident that not only can we increase the number of visitors, but also status of the zoo to a world-class zoo. Now we have also done well when it comes to drawing in investment. 2 international rubber companies have made investment in Kemunting. This includes Toyo Tires, a renowned tire production company that built their plant in Kemunting, the company's biggest plant outside Japan. At the same time, planned development in Larut Matang have generated a total investment of up to 450 million ringgit. In turn, the local economy has been boosted. More jobs have been created and local demand increased. A good indicator is the new hypermarkets that have been built to accommodate demands, as well as development of high-end residential areas that goes on to show Taiping is no longer a mere haven for pensioners, but is in fact today filled with opportunities. All this could have been achieved without quality of our public services. Credit must go to the hardworking men and women in Taiping Municipal Council who have strived to ensure the quality customer service and ensure that government policy gets executed and implemented well. I can confidently say that our council is on par with other major local councils in this country, and our record speaks for itself. Since 1995, the council received nearly 70 awards at state, national, or international level in recognition of the council. Most recently, thus in 2015, the council has received the following awards and achievements as shown on screen. 4-star financial management, Best Destination Managers Award, first placing national level outdoor advertisement competition, and the winner of the State Innovation Award for Local Authority. It is right that this success be celebrated, but we will not rest on our past glories. We see rooms for improvement. The council is currently undertaking various activities to support the initiative and program of the Safe City Initiative and the Green Neighborhood. Under the Safe City program, many safety elements have been introduced in Taiping and Kemunting, such as more pedestrian walkways, as well as installations of new CCTV cameras in 20 locations. As for Green Technology Initiative, the Green Neighborhood, the council will be implementing various projects. Among the projects that are being planned are the production of pavement, construction of neighborhood gardens, the collection and reuse of wastewater, and introduction of waste composting programs. And all these will be in line with the third Q of Perak Aman Jaya, that is ensuring the quality of living for local communities. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end by stressing an important point. While short-term successes are rewarding, it is important that we look beyond 5-year horizon in planning for the future of our communities. It is important on our part to do crystal ball gazing and think 20 to 30 years ahead, identifying the potential challenges we face and potentials that have yet to be unlocked. In Taiping, our long-term plans is a greater Kemunting transformation blueprint, which was recently endorsed by the state government. The vision of this blueprint is to see Greater Kemunteng area become a high-income and green-friendly area come 2030. This is ambitious, but as I mentioned earlier, plans will be nothing but plans without great execution and quality governance. Thus, it is important that local councils continue to adopt new management techniques to ensure efficiency. Finally, the nature of these plans are just as important. We can't just look at growth. We need to ensure that the benefits of growth translate into real gain for our communities. We need to continue investing in infrastructure and ensure that security is guaranteed. By doing this, I believe we can all achieve our transformational objective in our respective community. Thank you.
I'm from Penang and doing a herbal business. Well, I'm glad to see that Taiping moving for heritage city. But I also know that Taiping is closest by is Batu Kurau is one of the best valley for the herbal plantation. Well, I mean, is it in the future that there is a potential plan for the Taiping to emerge into the herbal valley that will have the benefits to the countries? Thanks.
Herbal Valley, an engineer who turns into a herbalist entrepreneur.
Thank you. The Greater Kemunteng blueprint covers the area of Batu Kurau. So three sectors that will be developed are the manufacturing sector, tourism sector, and the agricultural sector in the Greater Kemunteng area. And Batu Kurau is one of those identified.
Next question. Otherwise, I'm going to ask Hajah Eliza, Mayor of Banda Aceh, can you please tell me, because a lot of perception around the world on the internet, social media, the moment you go Sharia, the moment you try to even mention Islam and sustainability, it's exactly not supposed to be together in a lot of discourse. But you have proven otherwise. What's the secret?
Yeah. I'm sorry. My English is not good.
It's okay.
So with Indonesia. Ya dari pengalaman yang ada, Aceh dilanda konflik yang begitu panjang. Historical sejarah Aceh 50 tahun lebih dipimpin oleh sultanah atau perempuan. Dan sejarah itu kembali terulang pasca musibah gempa bumi dan tsunami. Kalau dikatakan syariah akan menghambat kemajuan perempuan, justru saya terpilih ketika syariah ditegakkan di Aceh. Dan kemudian pasca musibah gempa bumi dan tsunami, apa yang terjadi di masyarakat Aceh? Banda Aceh dikenal dengan resilient city atau kota yang tangguh. Ada pertanyaan ketika kami melakukan kerjasama sister city dengan Jepang, di mana di sana juga terjadi gempa bumi dan tsunami yang begitu dahsyat. Dan pertanyaannya, mengapa masyarakat Aceh itu mau semua kejadian itu diabadikan? Kebalikannya, di Jepang itu mereka menolak untuk diabadikan. Dan jawaban saya, karena masyarakat Aceh punya iman, punya kekuatan iman, dan punya keyakinan akan ada kehidupan setelah kehidupan di dunia. Dan tentu untuk bersatu dengan keluarga, untuk hidup lebih baik di dunia akhir nantinya, di yaumul akhir, itu adalah harus berbuat yang terbaik saat ini. Dan dengan keyakinan itulah akhirnya semua orang merasa ini adalah ujian dari Allah. Dunia rintihan, dunia ini tempatnya ujian, dan ujian itu harus dilewati sehingga dia akan mendapatkan hasil yang lebih baik. Sehingga kami melakukan kerjasama bagaimana meyakinkan masyarakat Jepang agar bisa lebih tangguh juga bagaimana masyarakat Aceh menghadapi musibah. Dan begitu juga bagaimana kita mengambil lesson learn dari Jepang, di mana mereka merencanakan perencanaan pembangunan yang begitu luar biasa, yaitu walaupun jangka waktunya sangat lama, tetapi Aceh sangat cepat. Karena di Aceh semua pembangunan dibantu oleh dunia internasional termasuk Malaysia, tapi Jepang hanya membangun dengan dana mereka sendiri. Tetapi mereka membuat perencanaan yang lebih matang, sementara Aceh perencanaan dan pembangunan harus cepat dilakukan disebabkan karena bantuan punya limit waktu yang terbatas. Dari pengalaman yang ada, Banda Aceh pasca tsunami terbangun jauh lebih baik dibanding sebelum tsunami. Dan mindset dan culture set masyarakat terjadi perubahan besar dan kota ini menjadi kota menuju kepada smart city. Dan pengguna internet di Indonesia yang terbesar adalah di Banda Aceh walaupun kota yang cukup kecil. Dan 10 tahun dari 2007 sampai hari ini Banda Aceh satu-satunya daerah di Indonesia yang mendapat penghargaan tata kelola keuangan WTP wajar tanpa pengecualian selama 7 kali berturut-turut. Jadi dari tata kelola keuangan, kemudian tata kelola kebersihan kotanya, kemudian penggunaan ICT, ini termasuk kota yang maju di Indonesia walaupun kota ini telah dilanda konflik dan musibah gempa bumi dan tsunami. Nah inilah yang membuat mungkin kita terus mendapat kepercayaan untuk ada di event-event internasional untuk sharing, dan kemudian saya meyakini semua pihak ujian, cobaan jangan membuat kita lemah, justru harus membuat kita lebih kuat ke depan dalam membangun kota tercinta.
For the sake of time, Lisa, you want to translate or never mind, I'll translate. For the sake of our international audience, the answer is Sharia is not a hindrance for advancement. In fact, the history of Aceh is littered with examples of powerful women leading, from the head of the army to the sultana. And they have proven that the Japanese people, when they go to Aceh, they say, why do you want to immortalize the remnants of such dark tragedy? But to them, because of the faith that they have in their hearts and mind, it's a memento to remind them that the life we have is only also until the day after. So it strives to make them better. And because she comes from the long line of powerful leaders of Aceh, even during the implementation of Sharia, she can still be the good leader. And to empower women is to bring success, and proven by Banda Aceh, which have won a lot of accolades in terms of financial management and development, and they have the biggest internet user in the whole of the area. So that's the answer from Mayor Eliza. Before I leave, I would like also to ask Mayor from the Philippines on, it's so easy to say that when you empower women, you empower development. But sometimes it's hard to implement. The men don't want to make room. They don't want to give room for you guys to go up. In Malaysia, we have the 30% target for our board of directors in public listed company. Government say it's a must to have 30% director. How do you do it within your municipality? Because do you have to put a quota, or do you like to grow it from the bottom? Which one is more sustainable for you?
Thank you for the question. Because in Talavera, women and men are equal. However, the women are always in the houses and just taking care of their children. So what I do is I make a program to make them work, to be active and contribute to the income of the family. So for example, we give them free skills development, free trainings, and so that they can learn how to do something. And after that, we provide adequate credit for them so that they can have capital for their small businesses. So that's how we empower women. Instead of just being in their households and doing nothing, I encourage them to be self-reliant and to do something productive.
So you don't have to have power, because from the ground up, the women are rising.
No, yes. You don't need power to be empowered.
Okay. That's not to mean that you cannot have a female mayor. So thank you so much. That's all the time I have. Please, once again, give a big round of applause to the mayor of Banda Aceh, mayor of Taiping, the mayor from the Philippines, and from the southern province of Thailand. Thank you so much, and I bid you goodbye, and over back to Lisa.
Thank you, Kamarul. It sounds like a TV show. Well done for moderating that very exciting, very interesting talk there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big hand once again for Kamarul as well as all our panelists.